Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Murray Center, where your Rhode Island College Anchorwomen are set to take on the UMass Boston Beacons. Good afternoon, Mike Giamacco alongside, as always, Andrew Spaziano. Andrew, conference play is back, and how do you feel about that going into today?
Well, Mike, I think it's really going to be a test for the Anchorwomen to show what kind of team they are. They got a 3-7 record right now, and honestly, I think it's been a really up and down season for them. They've had some games where they've blown out teams, they've been blown out. And I think it's interesting coming off this break where they really have their first real game. They played that game at Brown against a Division I team, which really isn't an accurate gauge, I think, of where this team is at.
Agreed.
At this point in time. So I think coming off the break, we saw with the Anchormen Tuesday night, we saw that they looked like a totally different team, and the break did them some good. So I'm interested to see really how it's affected the Anchorwomen, and especially against a conference opponent. Important game, as always, these conference games, so it'll be interesting to see how they come out and play in this one.
Absolutely. And this, of course, is the first of two today. Andrew and I will also be bringing you the second game at 3 p.m. around then, where your Rhode Island College Anchormen will take on the UMass Boston Beacons in another conference matchup. And it's going to be a really fun day, Andrew, as we'll see how these two teams will match up against each other. I think it's going to be a good match. I think both games are going to be great, and it's going to be a fun one.
Most definitely. I love doing these doubleheaders, and I think it gives you a good gauge of. It's nice to see both teams back to back, and it kind of gives you the ability to analyze both teams at the same time, and I think that's nice because a lot of times we have disjointed games where the Anchorwomen play one night, the Anchormen another, and it's nice to have this back-to-back where we can kind of analyze both teams and we can cover both of them.
Absolutely, the doubleheaders are always fun.
Always great.
And looking at the schedule, today UMass Boston, Wednesday, January 13th, Southern Maine will be right here at the Murray Center for another doubleheader, and that should be another fun one. It's another conference game, a bunch of conference games coming after that. At Keene State, January 16th, then the 20th and 23rd, UMass Dartmouth and Plymouth State, respectively, will be right here at the Murray Center. And Andrew, we got about 15 seconds till we go courtside, so what are your keys to the game?
I think the Anchorwomen just need to come out and they need to play well. When they played Amherst, it was a difficult game for them, just for a lot of factors, but they need to play with some aggressive defense they did in that game, and I think it'll turn out all right for them.
Absolutely. We'll send you courtside for the national anthem and today's starting lineups.
Fans, welcome to the Murray Center for Campus Appreciation Day as the Beacons of UMass Boston take on your Rhode Island College Anchorwomen. The Rhode Island College Athletic Department would like to welcome all RIC sports campers and their families to today's game. Thank you for your support, and go Anchorwomen. Now at this time, please rise and move your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. And now this afternoon's starting lineups. First, for the the University of Massachusetts Boston Beacons. At guard, a 5'6" sophomore, number 21, Grace Geary. At guard, a 5'1" junior, number 3, Tajay Burston. At guard, a 5'7" junior, number 23, Chantel Jordan. At forward, a 5'10" junior, number 32, Katrina Edwards. And at forward, a 6-foot senior, number 15, Olivia Murphy. Head coach of UMass Boston, Christina Ball. And now the starting five for your Rhode Island College Anchorwomen. At guard, 5'6", sophomore, number 12, Jessa Rivera. At guard, 5'7", junior, number 10, Alex Moore. At guard, 5'4", junior, number 24, Megan Reel. At forward, a 5'11" freshman, number 20, Molly Phillips. And at forward, 6-foot junior, number 21, Devin Hill. Head coach of Rhode Island College, Glenn Senecal.
And Andrew, we are ready for the home conference game. A familiar starting lineup today for your Rhode Island College Anchorwomen, and it's going to be a good one here.
Yeah, definitely. I think another key that I forgot to mention pregame for the Anchorwomen is we see time and time again, we see Devin Hill is really this crucial piece to the Anchorwomen's offensive game. And I think, of course, she's a nice presence down low and whatnot, but I don't think it's fair to put all the pressure on her. And I think other shooters need to step it up. Obviously, we've seen Alex Moore. She can have very explosive games. But Rivera, Reel, Phillips, and obviously players off the bench, if they could come off the bench and have good games, I think that would really help them take the pressure off of Hill, just because it's so easy to key on one person like that, especially down low, to be able to take away those passing lanes. So if they can get some outside shooting going and whatnot, I think that'll definitely help them offensively in this game.
Absolutely. Murphy and Hill to take the tip off, and Rhode Island College with the ball. Phillips gets it back to Rivera, who brings it up the court. Rivera looks right, passes to Reel. Reel looking around, gets it down low to Moore for two.
Hey, good job just feeding it inside. Obviously, Alex Moore, we think of her a lot as a perimeter shooter, but she can also work inside as well. And definitely inside shots, high percentage, definitely the way you want to play the game.
Burston shot no good, but a foul will be called, and she will go to the line. Also a very familiar starting lineup for the UMass Boston Beacons. I believe we saw the same five last year.
Yeah, it seems like a familiar team, obviously an experienced team that's been together a lot.
Burston misses her first from the line.
So obviously they have good chemistry. Definitely something you have to deal with for the Anchorwoman, dealing with a team that knows their own tendencies. And
she makes her second. Rivera gets it up to Hill on the right side, driving in. Hill through traffic, shot no good. And rebound, it comes out to Reel. Moore, three, no good. Rebound, Rivera working inside, passes it down to Phillips. Phillips, right hook, no good. A block shot, but a foul will be called.
Yeah, just good job on the offensive boards. Giving Moore a nice opportunity up top, but not able to convert. But two offensive rebounds and a nice job by the Anchorwoman, able to draw the foul, and Phillips goes to the line. Good sequence.
And just a reminder here in these women games that there are 4 10-minute quarters now, as opposed to 2 20-minute halves, as Phillips makes her first from the line. And Phillips sets. Second one is no good, in and out, rebounded by Edwards. And Burston with the ball. Burston coming up the court, being guarded by Rivera, passes to Edwards. Edwards moving in on Phillips, and they'll get a foul called. And UMass to inbound. Burston looking for somebody. Tries to get it into Edwards, but it's stolen away. And they'll say it's off of Ribera. And it'll stay UMass ball down low.
It looks to be the case the Anchorwomen playing that aggressive defense as always. So it'll be interesting to see how UMass can work their way through it and if they can find a way through this tough, hard-nosed defense.
Murphy with the ball. Tries a shot, no good. Hill may have gotten a piece of the shot, and she comes down with the rebound, gets it up to Ribera, who works the right side. Ribera brings it back behind the three-point line, now gets it to Real, who fakes the three, now brings it back to the top of the key. Real with the ball, gets it to Ribera on the right side, being guarded by Burston. And Ribera fakes a move now, gets it over to Real. Real looking for Hill, finds Phillips instead. Phillips fakes the shot, takes a dribble, gets it to Ribera.
You have to take a shot.
Ribera driving through, gets it back to Hill. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Hill goes up, and they'll say the foul was before the shot, and the shot will not count.
Yeah, nice job, UMass. Good defense there, not allowing them. They were trying to work it down to Hill. They said in the pregame, it's difficult to have a player like that. You can pocket the passing lanes.
Hill's three is no good. Rebounded by Jordan. And now Gary with the ball. Passes down low to Edwards. Edwards gets it to the corner to Burston, who brings it back up and out. Back up to Gary. Gary being guarded by Moore, brings it up near half court. Tries to get something going, passes it out to Burston on the right wing. Burston may have gotten away with a little travel. Gary passes down low, and there's going to be a carry called. Not a call we see many times.
No, definitely not. Ribera was looking for the walk, but they get the carry anyway, so it's going to be Anchorwoman ball.
Kelsey into the game for the Beacons. She comes in for Murphy. And Ribera running point for the Anchorwomen. Brings it up past half court. At the top of the key, tries to find Real.
Bad pass.
And ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Beacons ball.
Looked like she was expecting Rio to walk out into that one. Unfortunately, she's not on the same page there, and that ball goes into the UMass bench.
Gary finds Burston right side near the corner. And Burston moves around with it. Ribera tried to go over the steal. And ball now in the corner. Gary with it, brings it back up to the left wing. Now passes over to the right to Jordan. Jordan passes down low. And it'll be a turnover for the Beacons. Anchorwomen ball.
And I think generally we see the Anchorwomen defense typically isn't a problem. It's their offense getting going, I think, is more of an issue. As we've seen earlier here in a 3-1 game, 3 minutes into this one.
Moore drives in. Shot no good. Rebound Jordan. And a good little pressure there from Real. Burst into Gary. Gary drives in baseline, and there's going to be a foul called before the shot. Foul's going to be on Alex Moore. And now Kelsey driving in. Looks back to Gary. Gary at the top of the key, being guarded by Moore. Moves around right side and finds Burston. Burston to the corner to Gary. Trying to find someone. Got Kelsey wide open. Doesn't see her, however. Passes down low to Edwards. Edwards, little fake up for two.
Yeah, it was just had Jordan open, but was able to feed down to Edwards. He did a nice shot fake on Real and was able to convert that one.
Ribera to Hill down low, and she'll get to the line. Nope, they'll say the foul was before the shot. It'll be Anchorwomen ball down low.
I just think generally what we've seen early is just what the Anchorwomen have struggled with for most of the season is getting the ball down low to somebody else besides Devin Hill, or just getting perimeter shooters going.
Moore open down low from Real, off the glass, no good.
And they've gotten chances to Moore, but unfortunately she's had some unlucky bounces like we just saw there. She's gotten there on the drives, just not able to convert on a lot of those shots.
Jordan to Kelsey for three. Got it. And Ribera to control the Anchorwomen offense. Almost loses the ball. Ribera being guarded by Burston, gets it to Moore. And she finds Hill for three. No good. And they'll say Anchorwomen ball.
We don't really see Devin Hill take a lot of three-point shots. She's taking 2 early in this one.
And now it's overruled, and it'll be Beacon's ball.
Yeah, it's difficult to tell from our angle. I had thought it went off a Beacon's player, but obviously, I mean, there was a conference, so.
Burston looking for Kelsey, finds it down low. Through traffic, no good. Rebound Moore. And she's pressing up the court. Left side. Looking for somebody, finds Hill. Little shot, no good. Rebound Burston. And Burston looking around. Finds Jordan, fakes the pass, gets it back to Burston in the left corner. And she's moving around the screen from Murphy. Takes the shot, no good. Rebound Jordan. I think they're gonna call a jump ball. You see Abby Burke into the game for Megan Reel.
That's a good heads-up play. I think that was Reel under the hoop. She was able to get the tie up. I mean, obviously, you want to make them inbound instead of getting that high percentage shot down low. So it was good awareness by getting that there.
Murphy's going to draw a foul down low. Foul's going to be on Devin Hill.
Hill obviously didn't like the call. Just to the official nearest to us.
Looked like a little bit of contact from here.
A little bit.
And Murphy sets. Her first is up, and it is good. Jill Palladino into the game for Molly Phillips. And Murphy sets. His second shot is up, and it is also good. Ribeiro with the ball. Finds Palladino. And they're going to get a foul on Burston.
That was fortunate. They were really having some trouble getting the ball up court.
Agreed. And that's something you really do not want to fall trap to in the early parts of the game, especially.
Definitely not, because then that just fuels the press even more.
Burke with the ball left side, gets it to Hill. Hill passes all the way to the other corner. Ribeiro fakes the three, now steps back and finds Hill again. And they're going to say Beacon's ball as it goes out off of Hill.
Yeah, it was a nice pass originally, the cross-court pass to Ribeiro. I looked like she had a bit of an open shot and decided to hold on to it and try to find a better pass. Unfortunately, Hill just lost control of it and it trickled out of bounds. She's definitely had a bit of a rough game early on in this one.
Gary to Burston. Now back to Matthew, to Jordan. Down low to Murphy. And great read by Ribeiro, stepping in front of the pass and coming away with the steal. And she gets it up to Burke, who's unable to handle the pass, but say she was out of bounds.
That was unfortunate. They had a nice transition offense going there, and Burke just wasn't able to corral that one. By the time she recovered it, she was already across the line.
Burston bringing the ball up for UMass, gets it to Gary. Gary looking around off the pick from Matthew, takes a long three, and it goes in off the board. Coach Senecal is going to take a timeout as UMass Boston has an 11-3 early lead.
And I mean, you can't really blame the defense for the Anchorwomen. They give them up 11 points in the first quarter. They only have 3. I mean, their offense is just not look good at all. And I think, honestly, Devin Hills is trying to do a little too much on offense.
And you know, we've seen that before. We'll probably see it again. Unfortunately, what happens is Hill gets the ball and she forces shots. They don't go in. She keeps forcing them, however.
Unfortunately, I agree with you. And I just think that she's trying to be that leader on the team as a senior. But I think at some point you kind of cross the line where you're trying to lead the team and you're doing a little too much. I think they're just going to try to pass the ball, and I understand that UMass is playing a really stout defense early on, but they've just got to find some open people and take what the defense is giving them. Taking low percentage shots outside, especially for a player like Hill, who isn't known for a three-point game at all, it's just really not good basketball, and you're just giving the ball away.
Palladino trapped, but gets it to Burke for 3. No good. And rebound to Kelsey. It's out of bounds. It'll stay Anchorwomen ball.
It just seems that the Anchorwomen, just in general, are just trying to force outside shots and really not really known as a three-point team. Alex Moore is known for three-point shooting in general, but she's really the only one, I would say, that's got a solid 3-point game.
Ball taken away by Gary, reading the pass perfectly, going down to Hill. And a good attempt by Burke and a great job not to foul, but Murphy goes up for 2.
Yeah, it was just a nice pass. Just floated it right over Burke's head, right to Murphy.
Rivera driving in, going all the way. It doesn't go. She'll get to the line.
I think at that point, I think Rivera was like, I'll just throw up a shot, try to draw a foul, try to get some points on the board. They just
And I mean, if it works, it works.
Yeah, no, definitely. I just think that at this point, the Anchorwomen just got to try to keep this game in control, and they just got to figure it out.
Rivera misses her first. Jordan back into the game for Burston, who will finally get a rest.
I think the good thing about having the quarter system is that they don't have to take a timeout. They're going to get an automatic pause in the game in a little over 3.5 minutes.
And she misses them both. Murphy comes down with the rebound and gives it up to Gary.
Gonna
Gary passes down low to a wide open Matthew, but the pass goes over her head and out of bounds. And we'll see Amber DeCristofaro into the game. Ribeiro will get a rest. Palladino to inbound. She finds Moore. Dribbles around traffic. And looking for somebody. They've got to get it over half court. And they do. Burke with the ball right side. Passes down low to Hill. It's picked off by Kelsey. And Gary with the ball getting it up to Jordan. And Jordan passes into Murphy. And a great block by Alex Moore. Real back into the game for Burke.
And you just tell the Anchorwomen are just having so much trouble dealing with that press. It's just translating all over the court. They get, even when they get down to UMass Boston's end of the court, they're still turning the ball over.
Matthew for 3, no good. Rebound comes down to Hill. And Moore with the ball. Moore looking around, going left side, bringing it all the way up herself. No good. Rebound tapped down to DeCristofaro. Hill fakes the 3. Now from the jumper is no good. And Hill comes up with the rebound. Moore fakes the 3. Now brings it back to Palladino, who drives in right side, tries to go through pressure. Shot no good. Rebound comes down to Murphy.
And they're getting some decent opportunities down low. They're getting those drives, but they just can't get the ball to roll in.
Murphy with the ball. Right side passes to the corner to a wide open Jordan, who drives in, and they'll get a foul.
I think they're going to get Palladino there.
That they will. Well, it's on Megan Real.
Oh, really? I think Palladino got more of it there, but regardless, UMass goes to the line.
They were both down there in contact.
Yeah.
Could have gone either way.
Exactly.
First is up and no good, in and out.
And you can tell when UMass plays defense, they got 4 people around the paint. They're saying you are not going inside. You're going to have to hit mid-range shots or perimeter shots. And really, I think that's...
And the second one gets a lucky bounce.
And I think that's a fairly good strategy to take against this team because they don't really have a lot of perimeter shooters. They just got to try to get some of those mid-range shots.
Moore sizing up with Gary, moves left side, hands it off to DeCristofaro. And they're going to get a foul called on Gary.
Just an interesting dynamic here with who's on the floor. DeCristofaro and Real both played at Smithfield. So they've played together before, so it's kind of interesting that they have some chemistry previously before they play for the Anchorwomen. So it'll be interesting to see if that helps them at all in the early goings of this one, trying to get something going. Obviously, when you know somebody's tendencies already and you've played with them for 3-4 years or whatever it was in high school, definitely helps when you're playing here at Rhode Island College.
DeCristofaro's first is up, in and out, no good. Burston and Edwards back into the game for Murphy and Gary. 2:17 to go, first quarter, 14-3, the UMass Boston lead. Second is up, and it is no good. Rebound, Kelsey. And ball being moved around. Now Burston will bring it up the court. Burston being guarded by DeCristofaro. Looks around, off the screen from Matthew. Burston driving in right side, now passes out to Kelsey for 3. Got it.
Yeah, see, the Anchorwomen, they're doing a good job keeping the middle contained, but the perimeter, Jordan's got a decent three-point shot, and UMass is taking what they're being given.
The Cristofaro off the board. It goes in for 2.
And that's what they've been doing. The Cristofaro's really the first one since Moore in the opening miss to get that lucky roll inside.
And they'll get a push off on Real, I believe. Oh, they're going to give that one to Hill. Hill with 2 early fouls in the first quarter. Phillips and Ribera both to come back into the game. And Edwards at the line. First is up and is no good. Back rims that one.
And I really think the Anchorwomen are just going to find out a 5 people on the floor that are just working. I think they've rotated a lot of people in and out in this one. They're kind of trying to figure out what's working, and really nothing's worked too much, but
Ebodi into the game for Kelsey.
If they can get some people that work well together and get some points.
Second is up and no good.
Any sort of combination would help.
And they're going to call a lane violation, so she'll have one more shot. And that's another one we don't really see called much. It's a lane violation.
I honestly can't remember the last time I've seen one of those.
And she makes her third. Ribera with the ball. Working right side now, moves it over left. Gets it to Cristofaro. And she looks in for Moore. And they're going to get a travel on Moore. Ebodi to inbound. She gets it to Burston.
I think Moore saw she had Real wide open on the right wing there. She had plenty of room to take a shot.
Jordan knocks down the wide open jumper for 2. 25 the lead for UMass Boston early in this game.
And really, this is a quarter you just got to forget if you're the Anchorwoman. It
Absolutely.
just hasn't been good. Even the defense is starting to falter here. And honestly, I mean, it gets to the point where it's like you're not scoring points anyways. So, I mean, it's like it doesn't really matter at this point how many you give up because you only have 5 points. I mean, it's really inexcusable in basketball to only have 5 points after a 10-minute quarter.
Agreed.
I mean, something I've never really seen on any level, in all honesty. So they really just got to figure it out. They got to go back to the fundamentals and just work their way through this defense. I mean, UMass is definitely working at their weaknesses, but they just got to counter it, and they've got to find a way around it. They're just bringing a lot of pressure up top to the guards, and then inside, they're rotating well inside and making sure that those passing lanes aren't open to get the easy high conversion shots.
Ribera to Moore, right side. Looks around, gets it back to Phillips for 3. No good. Rebound to Bodie. And Burston with the ball. Matthew with the ball. Passes down low to Ebodi. She works through pressure, goes up, no good. And Moore comes away with the rebound. Now Ribera, right side, behind the 3-point line. Looking around, trying to find somebody. And she resets it and gets it to Moore. Moore looking around, finds Real. Jumper is good. And they'll count that one for 3, I believe. Just behind the line. And Burston almost loses the ball, but still comes up with it. Last second of the quarter. No shot will be taken, and at the end of the first quarter, your score is UMass Boston 20, Rhode Island College 8. And Andrew, what did we just see?
Not a lot of good things from the Anchorwoman. I think defensively, I think they started out really strong, and I think they brought a good amount of pressure, and they were doing a good job stymieing the Beacons offense. But on the flip side, the Anchorwoman's offense is not showing up in the first quarter, and I think really it comes down to the fact that people are forcing shots that they shouldn't be taking. And I'm not just saying Devin Hill. I mean, other people have been forcing shots. You know, I'm not going to single her out at all. I mean, it's been a whole team effort when it comes to that side of things. They just got to find open people, and they're just going to play smart. I don't think it's a bad idea to drive in, but if they're going to put 3 people around you, got to try to kick it back out. And I think somebody I think just needs to get hot from beyond the 3-point line. Whether it's Real, whether it's Moore, whoever it is. Somebody has to start sinking those shots because then it makes the Beacons respect your outside game and it'll open up the inside shots.
And we've seen Ribera too also go on fire from 3-point range.
It is true. She's definitely had some good games from beyond the 3-point line. And she's been quiet in this one. She doesn't have any points, but I mean, really, the whole offense, besides 3 or 4 people, has been quiet this whole first quarter. But they got to figure it out, and let's see what they can do here to try to get back in this game.
Burke passes to Moore beyond the 3-point line, the right side. Now Moore brings it back up. And now moves over left, passes it to Burke on the right side. She gets it to Hill, now to Moore. Moore drives in, now back out, and gets it to Real. Real back to Moore, fakes the 3, steps in, passes down low to Phillips. And Phillips is going to be called for a travel.
I'm not sure what happened. I don't know if she lost her footing, but I thought maybe she was hurt for a second the way she went down. Well, unfortunately, gets the travel regardless.
Gary with the ball right side. Passes it up to Bodie. Now she passes down low to Murphy, working through traffic, shot no good. And she comes up with her own rebound off the top of the backboard. And Bodie gonna draw a foul.
They used to get those boards there. I mean, honestly, the Beacons flinging up some shots there down low, and really just those desperation heaves. Especially Devin Hill with a nice height advantage there. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to convert on the rebound.
Bodie sets, her first shot is up, and airmails her first free throw.
Speaking of things you rarely ever see.
Agreed. She sets again, second is up, and knocks it down. 21-8 the score. 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go, second quarter. And Moore with the ball. Passes down low to Phillips, and Phillips should have gone right up with that.
I agree with you.
Moore for 3, got it.
I mean, that's a promising sight there, though, if Alex Moore can start hitting down the threes. As I said before the beginning of the quarter.
Matthews shot no good, rebound to Bodie. And she loses the ball. Hill comes up with it and brings it up the court. And she's gonna be called for a travel. That's the second or third travel we've seen on Hill today.
And she's just had a rough go at the beginning of this game. I mean, definitely her first quarter to forget. And she hasn't started the second quarter off right, but she just needs to focus and just not try to do too much. Just try to pass the ball around and distribute and just make smart plays.
Gary to Matthew, left wing. Passes it back out to Gary. Gary looking for Burston, finds her. Pass down low to Murphy, able to keep it in bounds. But Burston not able to keep it in bounds. Bad pass from Murphy. It'll be Anchorwomen ball. 21-11 the score.
I think for as poorly as the Anchorwomen have played offensively, they're only losing by 10 points in this game. I mean, they're not getting blown out, and they're still within a few possessions of really getting back in this game. So I think they just need to focus and just do a little bit of what they're doing in their last possession. They got a couple of opportunities inside, ultimately ended up in a Moore 3, but I think if you can get those shots inside, it's certainly not going to hurt you.
Moore right side, looking around, finds Burke along the left wing. Burke, step back, shot no good. Rebound Burston. And Burston working right side now, moving over left. Gets it to Matthew, wide open jumper, knocks it down.
And anytime you leave somebody that wide open for a mid-range shot,
they're gonna knock it down 9 times out of 10.
Exactly.
Hill fakes the 3. Now moves in, out to Moore for 3. Got it.
She's got 8 points. She's got 8 of the 14 points for this Anchorwomen team, and that's what they need. They need someone to step it up. Obviously, we've said Devin Hill has had a rough beginning of this game.
And it's out of bounds, and it'll be Anchorwomen ball.
And they brought some nice pressure at around half court, and they were just able to force a really ill-advised pass. If they can start bringing the press, they can start bringing the pressure on the Beacons. I mean, they're going to be able to get their fair share of turnovers. just bring themselves right back in this game.
Burke will be controlling the Rhode Island College offense. She finds Reel left side, and Reel looking for the pass to Moore down low, but it gets deflected and taken away. Gary comes up with it. Gary working left side, passes to Kelsey. And Kelsey leaves Burston wide open for a three, but she airmails it way too long. Rebound, Reel. And Moore gets it up to Hill. Hill drives in, and she'll draw a foul. So Hill will go to the line. Rivera will come back into the game. And we'll see Rivera into the game for UMass. We'll also see DeCristofaro back into the game for the Anchorwomen. First shot is up and no good.
Another part of the game the Anchorwomen really struggling is from the free throw line. I don't know if they've made a shot or if they had made a shot. It's only been one. They're just dreadful from the line early on.
Hill's second is up and is good.
That's her first point. 6.5 minutes to go here in the first half, so she's finally on the board.
And there's that full court press. And ball deflected away. DeCristofaro almost comes up with it, but doesn't. Edwards gets it down to Kelsey. Works through traffic. No good. Rebound comes down to Rivera.
And it was a nice sequence by the Anchorwomen. DeCristofaro just ended up in between two beacons and just wasn't able to control the ball.
Edwards out to Burston, to the corner to Rivera. Going to be called for a travel.
Seen a lot of travel from both teams early in this game.
Common call that we have seen is that one step before the dribble. And they're calling that a lot this season.
They have been in both the Anchorwomen and Anchormen games. We see that a lot. You've mentioned it before, and we've seen it plenty of times in this game.
Palladino with the ball right side. Passes up to Phillips. Fakes the shot, now drives in through traffic. She'll get the foul. She'll go to the line again.
I think the Anchorwomen, they've been going with that strategy, going for the drive and the foul, and I think that's fine of strategy. I think you're just going to make these free throws if that's the course of action you want to take. And unfortunately, they haven't done a very good job of that in the first half. Let's see if hopefully they can turn that around.
First shot is up and no good. Murphy and Jordan back into the game for Edwards and Matthew. Phillips to be shooting her second of two. 5:58 to go in the half. And she misses her second. Kelsey comes up with the rebound and Burston with the ball. And Burston near center court. Passes it out to Murphy. Back over to Burston on the right side beyond the three-point line. And she's looking around for somebody. Finds Kelsey for three. No good that time. And I believe they're going to get an over-the-back foul.
That was a nice shot contention there by, I believe that was Phillips, who's playing up top. Does a nice job putting a hand in the face of the shooter, but not drawing the foul. Just a good job, and obviously leads to a good sequence, and the Anchorwomen get the ball back.
Rivera up to Palladino. It was a good pass, but she was unable to handle it. Hill able to come up with the ball, however.
Yeah, good awareness by Hill. Able to come in at the last moment and keep that ball from going out of bounds.
Rivera finds Palladino beyond the three-point line, who gets it down to Hill, fakes the shot, now turns around. There's going to be a foul before the shot. It'll be Anchorwomen ball down low. Palladino to inbound. And the Anchorwomen going with the line play, gets it back to Hill for three. No good. And rebound comes down to Burston. And Burston calling out a play near center court. Finds Kelsey. Back to Burston. Beyond the three-point line. Passes it down low. And shot no good from Kelsey. Ball comes away. And Phillips able to come up with a bad pass from Murphy. Rivera fakes the shot, gets it to Phillips. Jumper, no good, but to get the foul.
And I think I've used this phrase before in past games, but it's just really a game of attrition right now. Just a lot of fouls and just a lot of grinding it out. I haven't seen a lot of points at all in this one. We only got 4:48 left in the first half, 23-15. So it's definitely a game the Anchorwomen don't mind playing, is that low-scoring game.
Phillips makes her first. We'll see a bunch of substitutions. Moore, Reel, and Burke will also come into the game. And UMass takes a timeout, 23-16 the score. Phillips will be shooting her second from the line. And a good turnaround we've seen here in the second quarter.
Yeah, definitely. I think really you have to give a lot of credit to their defense. Their offense still, it looks better, but it still looks a little rough. But their defense is still getting up 3 points in this quarter, the Anchorwomen. So really, I mean, anytime you can do that, I mean, they're still not putting up a ton of points, but if you're going to hold somebody to 23, you're not going to need a ton to keep up with them, and that's what we've seen so far. So, but it would be good to see the Anchorwomen offense really start to find its groove. They've definitely had a couple of little stretches where they've been able to convert a couple of opportunities in a row, but still a little iffy, but definitely by far better than what we saw in the first quarter.
Absolutely. Rhode Island College also in the bonus, so every foul against UMass, the Anchorwomen will go to the line.
But as you said in Anchorman game Tuesday night, that also may be what they want to do instead of letting the shots go in, especially the way the Anchorwomen have shot from the line early on in this one.
Phillips' second is up and no good. Kelsey comes away with the rebound. And good try by Hill.
Yeah, great effort. She ended up with the ball, but unfortunately she was halfway out of bounds by the time she landed on the ball. But definitely a good effort, like you said.
Gary with the ball, finds Kelsey, passes up to Matthew. Matthew fakes the shot, gets it back to Gary, left wing, passes all the way over to the right corner to Jordan and back up to Kelsey. Kelsey drives through pressure, shot no good. And they're gonna call an over the back foul on Murphy. Murphy shocked with the call.
Yeah, she did not look happy about it. And I think UMass is really, they're looking a lot like Rhode Island College's offense this quarter. They're just not able to do much of anything. I think the Anchorwomen have done a good job of finding out this beacon plan of attack, and they've done a good job of sticking to their game plan and playing their defensive game.
First one is no good from Hill. Gabodi into the game for Murphy.
And I think it's really surprising not only how the team shot from the free throw line, but Devin Hill in particular is usually a pretty sure thing from the line. So
second is up and good. 23-17 the score. Lead cut to 6. Kelsey gets it up to Gary, who finds Jordan along the right wing and gets it back to Gary. Gary moving right side, now driving baseline. Off the board, no good. Rebound to Bodie. Shot no good. Kelsey comes up with that rebound, and there's going to be a foul called. Megan Reel not happy with the call.
No, and I really think it's going to be frustrating that they didn't get any of those boards there. It was another one of those situations where the Beacons are just kind of throwing up some wild shots, and you're just going to get those rebounds.
Gary with the ball left side. Passes down low to Bodie and back out to Kelsey. Fakes the three. Now gets it back to Gary. Jordan with the ball, drives baseline, and another foul is called.
Really, both teams are going to start running the foul trouble here. Reel has 2 fouls. Actually, I'm surprised. I thought people on a 4, I thought had more than 2.
And Kelsey goes up for 2 and will get the foul.
So a lot of substitutions. There's been a lot of fouls to go around, but now Hill has 3, so she's in a bit of trouble in the first half.
Her shot is up and knocks it down. Reel gets it to Burke, back to Reel, to Ribera, to Moore. Over left side to Burke, and up to Reel. Moore now with the ball, left side. Drives in, steps back out behind the 3-point line. And look at a 3-second violation called on Hill.
It's just one of those technical mistakes that you just can't make. I mean, really, it's just a fundamental. As you grow up playing the game, you just sort of realize and just have to keep conscious. Nice
And
steal.
Burke comes up with a steal. And she drives in, going to take it herself, and it's going to be a foul call. She'll go to the line.
Yeah, just a nice job by Burke reading that one and able to draw the foul, see if she can convert from the line here. But I think really, you got to give the Anchorwomen defense some credit. They've locked down and kept them in the game most definitely, especially the way the first quarter was going.
And Burke sets, her shot is up, and it is no good. These Anchorwomen not good from the line.
I want to say maybe they made 2 or 3 shots. Hopefully we get a stat sheet at halftime. We can give you the official number. But
She makes her second. Gary with the ball. Now to Kelsey, back to Gary. Passes all the way up to Jordan, who finds Matthew wide open again. This time no good. Rebound to Bodie. She may got away with the walk, and no, she didn't get away with it. A travel is going to be called.
good job by the official.
Agreed. A little late whistle, but
Yeah,
better late than never.
definitely. The way he blew a whistle, how late it was, you thought maybe it was a foul, but definitely a blatant walk there, and good job for catching it by the referee.
Moore passes down low to Hill. Hill turns around, gets it out to Ribera for 3. No good.
That was a good
Rebound, Jordan.
That was a good feed by Hill. I think it was a good job bumping it out to Rivera there.
Gary, right side, passes it back to Jordan. And Jordan moving around. Jumper is no good. Rebound real. And Ribera with the ball. Brings it up the court. Brings it up herself for 2.
That was a nice drive. I think she was surprised. She went to go pass it. She said, oh, the hoop's open. I'll just go for it. And good job converting there.
Gary for 3. Got it. Wide open
Yeah, just
on the left wing.
it's at least the second time we've seen that situation in this game.
Lead back up to 9.
Where they've just left a shooter wide open on the other side of the court. And you just can't do that. I know you like to crash to the ball a lot and double team on this defense and try to force turnovers, but at some point you got to be kind of smart about it too. You can't leave somebody wide open like that, because even if they're not a great three-point shooter, they'll become a great one if you give them that much time to set and take their time taking the shot.
2:11 to go in the half. 29-20 the score. Of course, this is a conference matchup, so this will count towards the record.
Yeah, it's just a very important game. Obviously, the conference games, we always say, are the ones that count the most. And
Rhode Island College 1-1 in conference play. UMass 0-2.
we'll see what the Anchorwomen can do here. They got 2:11 left in the half. If they can get a few buckets here and get down to a couple possessions, I think you can go into halftime and say, look, we didn't start out very well. We dug ourselves a hole, but we've got ourselves back in this thing. And you can kind of use that and just kind of take a positive out of this.
De Cristofaro passes it away. Good read by Gary, who brings it down, passes it down to Jordan. They'll call the foul before the shot. And I believe she will go to the line.
Both teams are in the bonus now.
So Jordan to shoot. First is up, and it is good. Lead back to 10, 30-20. Minute 53 to go, first half, second quarter. Ribera brings it up, passes to Burke on the left side. To De Cristofaro, top of the key, back out to Ribera. And Ribera looking around, finds Moore. Right side, finds Hill for 3, and she knocks it down.
She's had a lot of opportunities there. She's finally able to knock one down.
Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Anchorwomen ball.
As I said before, Hill isn't really known as a three-point shooter. She does take shots, and she's showing that she can knock them down, but she's taking a lot of three-pointers and just finally able to find her groove. If they could get her going too, that would definitely be a great asset to have offensively.
Rubera, top of the key, finds Burke, left side. Moore, open for three, no good. May have thought about it a little too much. And out of bounds, it'll stay Anchorwomen ball.
And a good effort by Hill. She came all the way across the court on that shot and was able to get in the face of the UMass defender and able to work that one out of bounds, and Anchorwomen are able to keep possession.
And there's going to be a foul going the other way. They call Burke for a foul.
Now Burke has 3 fouls, so the Anchorwomen are definitely going to run into some foul trouble early on in this one.
Burke with 3, Hill with 3, Ribera with 2.
Yeah, they're going to have to work the bench a little bit and try to save some of those people. Definitely Devin Hill you'd like to save down the stretch in this one. So I think we are going to see a close game in the second half.
Ball moved all the way to the left side. 3 is good from Matthew.
That wasn't necessarily bad defense. The Cristofaro was in position. It was just a nice shot by Matthew.
Ribera almost loses it. Now gets it to Burke. And Ribera trying to pass it down low to Hill. Hill doesn't read it. And Gary with the ball.
Some open space in the paint. She wanted to lead Hill into that open spot.
Good play by Burke.
She's showing a nice couple of defensive plays. She had that steal early on. Nice read there. Just another one of those defensive players that the Anchorwomen like to have. I think Rubera is a lot like that too. Very good guard up top that plays good defense.
Ball out of bounds. Anchorwomen ball. Morgan Burke comes into the game. Shot clock's been turned off. 16.5 seconds to go in the first half. 34-23, 11-point lead for UMass Boston. Megan Reel back into the game, along with Dumont.
Okay, so they're definitely going to start working this bench. We'll see how some of these bench plays that we don't necessarily see a lot. See how they can perform and see if they can provide a spark.
And we're just waiting on the official's call, as the teams will gather for more than likely last time out of the half.
Yeah, I'm assuming the Anchorwomen will probably play for the last shot here. Shot clock's turned off. Get a basket, knock it down to a single-digit deficit. You can go into the half and try to figure out what you did wrong and try to harness the things you did right. I think overall defensively, I don't think it's been a terrible game. And I think it's really, as I said, touched on before, it's kept them in this game because their offense has definitely sputtered and hasn't really gotten going at all early in this one. And I think you also got to you got to make those shots from the line.
Right.
Because if you make half those shots, I mean, we're talking about a 5-6 point game instead of an 11-point one.
Right. Maybe even more than that.
Shooting for RIC number 10, Alex Moore.
So a technical foul has been called against UMass. I believe it was delay a game. Moore's shot is up. She knocks it down. Back to a 10-point lead. Second is up. And she makes it.
She's found herself in double digits. Seen a lot of things, Mike, that we don't usually see. Lane violations, air balls from the line, delays the game. It's been a very weird game.
Carrying call also.
Yep, we had a carrying. I don't think either team can really be fully happy with their performances. They've definitely both had their ups and downs.
To Cristofaro racing up the court. Passes out to Dumont. Shot is no good. Rebound, Burke, no good. And that'll be out of bounds off of Dumont. It'll be UMass ball with 4.5 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah, Burke did a nice job getting a rebound, just couldn't quite get that roll to go the right way off the rim.
And Jordan gives it to Real. That'll be end of the first half. The end of the first half, your score, UMass Boston 34, Rhode Island College 25. Stay tuned for the second half. And here we are, back for the second half of action between your Rhode Island College Anchorwomen and the UMass Boston Beacons. Mike Giammarco alongside Andrew Spaziano. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're live on 90.7 WXIN and Anchor TV. And Andrew, after that horrible first quarter, that second quarter looked pretty well.
Yeah, it definitely looked better. I think there's definitely still things they can improve on in a lot of ways, especially offensively. Just taking smart shots. I think they took some smarter shots in the second quarter, but I think they still can improve. And I think something else that hurt them is turnovers and really the free throw line was
Absolutely.
just dreadful. It was just not a lot of success. I want to say maybe they made 3 or 4 shots and maybe 12. I mean, I don't have the stat sheet in front of me, but I'm just kind of giving a bit of an estimate there. But regardless of what the actual numbers are, it was not good. And they just need to improve in that part of the game. And really, I mean, despite all those flaws, they're only losing by 9 points.
Right.
I think you can sit there and say, well, we didn't play our best game, but we're still in this game. So if we
Absolutely.
go out and play a clean second half and make smart decisions, take smart shots, and make our free throws, then we have a good chance of winning this game.
Devin Hill and Abby Burke both in foul trouble, which is not good. They're both very key players today. Burke only had 1 point. However, she had a number of assists. She had a number of great defensive plays. It's almost like she's playing like Jessie Rivera of 2014, 2015, if you know what I'm saying by that.
Yes. She's definitely making a lot of those defensive plays. Not necessarily something that shows up on the offensive scoreboard in regards to points, but definitely having a guard up top that can make those defensive plays is definitely something that the Anchorwomen like to have.
And we are underway. Gary with the ball for UMass along the right side, passes it to Murphy. Murphy looking around top of the key, gets it to Jordan. And Jordan moves around, gets it over back to the right side to Burson. Burson brings it back out, now tries to move in. Around to the left side, Jordan with it, passes down low to Murphy. Murphy in trouble, gets it to Edwards. Edwards being double teamed, shot no good, but there's gonna be a foul called on the play.
Just a good sequence. I think the Anchorwomen did just about everything they could to try to avoid the foul there, yet they still ended up with one.
Looked pretty solid defensively there.
I agree, they were definitely...
Third foul on Real also.
Yeah, it's another problem. I mean, Real's had a decent game. He's definitely done a good job playing a lot of minutes and trying to keep things going.
Edwards makes her first.
I think the problem is that they've got 2 people in the same position. I mean, Real can play forward or guard. Just played a little bit of both today. And obviously Burke plays guard. And
She makes them both.
if you're going to run into those foul problems, it's going to hurt you down the stretch. And hopefully the Anchorwomen can work around it.
Real with the ball left side. And she gets trapped and she gets it to Moore, but there's going to be a foul on the play.
Yeah, really
That's going to be on Jordan.
brought a ton of pressure there, and Real was able to get the ball out anyways, but she got fouled in the process, so.
Real to inbound, and she gets it into Moore. Now Ribeiro with it over on the right side, being guarded by Gary. Ribeiro over to Moore. Moore, jumper from the elbow is good.
A nice job by Moore. Nice catch on the pass, then able to set up and make a shot from the elbow. And she's got 12 points. If she can get it going, then definitely will really help the Anchorwomen's chances. She had a decent second quarter.
Foul's good. Oh, they're going to call a travel. It looked like Anchorwomen could have gotten away with a little one there. Looked like some contact from Ribeiro.
Yeah, it looked like simultaneous. There was a bit of a walk, and there was also some contact. The officials saw it one way. It's sort of a judgment thing there.
Not going to complain about it.
Oh, definitely not, especially with the foul trouble they're in.
Real with the ball, looking for somebody. And she finds Ribeiro, drives in baseline, and gets it back out to Phillips. Jumper is no good. Rebound, Murphy.
And that was a nice pass, but Phillips not able to convert. She had a nice wide open shot.
Burston near center court, now brings it left side. And she passes to Jordan, and pass tipped up, but Murphy comes away with it. And gonna call a jump ball, I believe. Nope, they do get a foul on the play. Ribeiro's third foul. Now the official put both of his thumbs up like it was going to be a jump ball. And then they call the foul.
So on the floor right now, everybody has 2 fouls for the Beacons, except Murphy has 3. So they're in a bit of trouble. If they get a few more fouls, they're going to...
Gary for 3. No good. And a travel called on Murphy.
But if they get a couple more fouls, the people they have on the floor, they're going to have to start really going to their bench. I think both teams, the way this game's going, it's going to come down whose bench can make the biggest impact.
Moore with the ball. Brings it up through traffic on the left side. Finds Hill. Hill turns around. She's going to be... She may have gone away with a walk also, but they're going to get a foul. Officials calling a very, very tight game.
But I agree with you, Mike, but at least they're calling it tight on both sides.
Right.
At least it's not one-sided.
It's not one-sided.
So, I mean, you just got to gauge that, and you got to just adjust accordingly.
Real with the ball. Finds Moore. Moore fakes the shot, now drives in through traffic, up for 2.
This is definitely going to be one of those games, it feels like, where Alex Moore's going to have to put up 30 points. She's going to have to carry this team.
You never know.
She's done it before.
Burston passes to Gary. Gary all the way over to the other side to Kelsey for 3. No good that time. Rebounded, however, by Edwards.
He's just going to get
Go
those
for 2.
boards. They were to force the errant shot by Jordan, but just a lazy underneath the basket, able to allow the offensive board, and able to convert the quick 2.
Ribera near the top of the key, right side. Passes to Real. They're going to get a foul on Gary. Some UMass fans behind us not happy about that call.
I think really if you're a fan of either team, you can say, as we said, it's been a tight game, evenly called.
Moore moving around the pick from Hill. Floater goes in for 2.
She's already got 6 points in this half, only 3 minutes in.
And Burston with the ball. Passes down to Edwards. Edwards got away with a walk. And they're going to call a foul.
Yeah, it seems like on those plays, they're really ignoring the travel and they're calling the contact. To take that for what it is, but as we just touched on, at least it's going for both teams, even though it may not be the right call.
4th foul for Ribera, and Burke will come back into the game. And Burke has 3.
And I think offensively, I think the Anchorwomen, I think it's definitely a great thing that Alex Moore's gotten going in this game. And I think you have to look at it like, you got to figure the Beacons aren't going to let her keep doing this, but on the flip side of that, it should open up opportunities for other people on the floor if they start keying in on Alex Moore. So other people are going to have to step up in this game, and hopefully those open opportunities, people will be able to convert.
And the officials call back the substitution now. So Burke will come in momentarily. Coach Senecal not happy about it. Edwards goes up, shot is good. And now Burke comes in.
Unless they want to call it back again.
And she sets. Her second is up and is no good. They're going to get a lane violation against UMass. It'll be Anchorwomen ball anyways. More control in the offense. Bringing it up the court, being guarded by Jordan. And she dumps it off to Burke. Almost unable to handle it, but saves it from going out of bounds. And Burke, right side, gets it back up to Hill. Hill looking around, finds Moore. Fakes the 3, now drives in. She'll draw the foul.
I really think she had to have been looking to draw the foul because there was 3 people there, and I think she probably knew she wasn't going to be able to get to the hoop. So regardless, did a nice job of drawing the foul. And I can't necessarily say it's a bad strategy, especially with the foul problems everybody's in. If you can get the Beacons in as much foul trouble as you're in, it's going to even things back up.
And Burke throws the ball away.
I don't necessarily know if I can blame Hill there. I think that was more on Burke. Because it was like Hill had position on the inside.
Right.
And you would have been better served just doing a quick feed to her under the hoop and having her put up the shot.
And Burston goes right past Phillips, pass down low, and shot wild from Edwards. And now Burke bringing it up the court. And she loses it, throws it away to Edwards. Edwards gets it to go in, and she'll have one from the line.
It's not a good sequence there. UMass is bringing that press, and it's still affecting the Anchorwomen's ability to get up court.
Foul's going to be on Moore. Only her second, however.
Yeah, I think with the fact that she only had one foul, I don't think it was necessarily a bad idea to go up and contest that one. She just got unfortunate that the ball rolled in, and now they're going to get a chance for a three-point play.
Her shot is up, and she misses it. It's going to be a jump ball. It'll be Anchorwomen ball. (41-31), 6:22 to go, third quarter.
The Anchorwomen just need to get on a run, get some baskets. They're going to make some stops. It seems like every time they get within 5 or 6 points or whatnot, they just have they just have a bad sequence where they can't get the defensive rebound. They have a bad turnover.
Phillips with the ball, driving baseline. They're going to get a foul. And she should be at the line. She will be at the line.
Rhode Island College now in the bonus.
Very early for that. She makes her first.
He's going to convert these opportunities now if they're going to put you at the line, which I don't really know if UMass can afford to put them at the line for all these shots, because they're not exactly in great straits when it comes to fouls.
Second is up and knocks it down. And Matthew to inbound. She gets it into Gary, back to Matthew. Back to Gary. Gary fires up the court to Burston, who looks around.
Almost got a backcourt violation there.
Almost did. Burston drives in, now passes up to Matthew, wide open, no good. Rebound, Phillips passes it back to Hill, who gets it back to Moore. Now Moore brings it up the court. Looks to Hill. Hill fakes the shot, now drives in, and she's gonna get called for a travel.
Would have been better served, trying to pop it back out. I think she was trying to draw the foul there and just instead get the travel and the turnover.
Burston right side. Brings it back up top. And they'll get you for that stutter step right before the two steps every time. Gary drives in through traffic, shot no good. And Hill comes away with it. And she brings it up the court and gets it back to Moore. Moore being guarded by Gary. Shot is no good. Rebound, Kelsey gets it to Burston.
That's the thing with Moore. She can hit those mid-range shots just as well as she can hit the three and the inside. She's a pretty good shooter all around the floor.
Burston drives baseline, passes it out to the corner. Gary wide open for three, airmails it. Rebound, Edwards back to Kelsey. Open for three, doesn't take it. Now drives in, Wild off the board, gets her own rebound and will draw the foul.
Yeah, just another one of those sequences we were just talking about. Just a lot of wild shots for UMass. The Anchorwomen just not able to come up with any of those rebounds. And I think it's one thing if a team's taking quality shots and they get the boards, but they're not taking good shots at all. I mean, you're going to airmail to three and then just throw up a couple wild shots inside.
Kelsey misses her first.
I mean, on defense, you should be getting those rebounds because they're not taking good shot opportunities offensively. So I think it's just been a problem spot for the Anchorwomen, and it looks like it's carried over into the second half a little bit too.
And Kelsey sets. Shot is up and is good. Back to a 9-point lead, 42-33. Moore passes to Hill, fakes the three, now drives in, takes a little jumper, no good. Rebound Matthew, and Burston with the ball, and Hill's got to stop forcing the shots.
I didn't necessarily think that was a bad shot.
It wasn't.
It wasn't terrible. I just think that she's just been cold all day, and I think she just needs to
find somebody else.
Exactly.
And they're going to call a foul before the shot. Foul's going to be on Moore, who now also has 3 fouls.
Now she has 3. And it's just at the point where you're just going to have to play these people and just hope they don't foul out.
Both teams in the bonus now. Morgan Burke will come into the game. Misses her first.
I think if you're either coach, I mean, I think regardless of who gets the win in this game, I don't think you can really be too happy about the performance of either team. I think both teams have played in a manner that their coaches aren't happy about when it comes to, especially on the offensive end from the free throw line. Just a lot of sloppy play with the travels, turnovers.
Moore with the ball near center court, being guarded by Burston. She gets it to the Cristofaro and up to Hill. Hill finds Moore for 3. Got it. Foul's going to be called on Palladino.
Alex Moore it was just a great shot just because there was a lot of contention there and just floated that one up, and just like we see so many times, nothing but net. Obviously a great three-point shooter. She's got 19 now, and really, offensively, you're going to say she's what's keeping this team in the game.
Jordan's first is good. Yeah, Moore with more than half of the points for the Anchorwomen.
It really just
Second is up and is good.
Just an understatement to say she's been the key to this offense.
And she will control the ball for the Anchorwomen. It's back to a 9-point lead, 45-36 the score. And Moore passes to Palladino. Down to Cristofaro, gets it to Burke. And Burke looking around, trying to find Hill. And Hill thought it was deflected by UMass.
Well, I think regardless if it was deflected or not, just not a smart pass. Trying to force that along the baseline in between a lot of bodies. And there was a couple of good passes there. I thought that Cristofaro had a nice pop out to Burke, but Burke just not a good decision. You're going to find somebody else there.
Ball down low to Bodie, back out to Jordan, it's a Burston. Matthew to the corner to Kelsey. Kelsey drives in and has a wide open lane, throws it up for 2.
I just think the Anchorwomen's defense just faltered a little bit just because I think they just have asked a little too much of their defense in this game. They only have 36 points with 3 minutes in the third quarter.
Ball goes out of bounds off of Burke's hands.
Hey, Coach Senecal is going to be frustrated with what he's seen from his offense today. I
Absolutely.
mean, it's just been a lot of sloppy passes, turnovers, a lot of bad decisions, whether it be shot selection or trying to force the ball into places it shouldn't be going. And even beyond that, you've got people who are passing the ball in places and they're not on the same page. The communication's been off.
Right.
I mean, that pass to Burke, that's probably the 4th or 5th time we've seen a pass that's just hasn't been on target because the person who's passing the ball thinks that person down low is going to do something, and in fact, they're doing the opposite. And it's really hard to win games like that if you're not going to be on the same page. And I mean, that goes for any phase of the game, but especially offensively. When your defense, I think, for most of the game had played pretty solid, I mean, there's only so much you can ask for yourself on the defensive end of things. If you're going to be turning the ball over, not converting your opportunities, whether it be from the line, whether it be you get a drive inside and whatnot, I think the biggest takeaway defensively is I think that the rebounding has definitely had its moments today where they just haven't been around the ball and they haven't been able to get the ball off the bad shot and get rebounds they should be getting. I think that's the biggest takeaway defensively I think you have to take in this one, that definitely needs a lot of improvement as they go on.
Just under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. 47-36. UMass hanging on to that lead. And Matthew gets it to Edwards. Edwards finds Burston, back to Edwards, back to Matthew. And up to Jordan. And back out to Burston. Edwards to right side to Matthew. Looking down low to Ebodi, who passes it back out to Edwards. And back to Matthew. Back down low to Ebodi for 2. And the passing of that UMass team.
Yeah, good ball movement.
It's been pretty good all game.
Yeah, definitely. They've made
Real for 3. Got it.
And her boys, they come off a 2 3-pointer. She has a little bit of range.
They're going to get a foul on Rivera. And she is not happy about it.
I don't blame her. I didn't really see anything there. I mean, they're calling a tight game, and I think now is a little ridiculous. I didn't see much contact there at all.
And Rivera has fouled out with 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, I don't think they've just adjusted well to the tight calls of the officiating. You're going to have officials. We see it a lot more, and we don't see it.
Right.
The officials are going to call a tight game more, and they're going to let them play.
Absolutely.
So you've got to just kind of adjust to it. And not necessarily in that situation. I don't think Rivera did much wrong in that one, but I think overall you have to adjust to how the officials are calling it.
Burston misses her first, and I would have to agree with you.
But now they're going to have to go with the Cristofaro, and Burke's in their own foul dilemma as well. But they're going to have to figure out who's going to have to step it up at the guard position.
And they're going to call another foul.
Hill's pleading with the official. She doesn't think she did much wrong. She's one foul away from fouling out. And it's just rough game for the Anchorwomen today. And especially Hill. She's just hasn't been able to catch a break today.
That she hasn't.
She's had a lot of issues offensively. She's having foul issues.
Jordan makes her first from the line. And Burke will come in for Hill.
The Anchorwomen are going to have a chance this game. They're going to have to
make a second.
You have to play through Alex Moore.
Agreed. Got to find her the ball any way possible. To Cristofaro, back to Moore, who brings it up half court, passes it to Cristofaro right side. And she drives in, gets it to Phillips. Phillips for 2.
I was going to say she was probably better off taking the shot off the pass, but she works it in, and she did a nice job regardless there. So
Jordan running the court. And they're going to call a foul on what looked like all ball.
I would say some embellishing there by Jordan.
Very much so.
And that's the thing. In these games where they're going to call the game so tight that you can get away with that embellishment because they're looking for that. I think that.
And UMass has caught on to that. Shot is up. She misses her first.
I mean, I guess I can't blame them. I guess if they're going to call a tight game, then I guess they're adjusting to it. I guess you could say.
Second is up, and no good. Phillips comes up with the rebound and gets it up to Moore. She brings it up the court. Finds Real. And Real looking for Phillips and finds her. Phillips back to Real. And she drives in. A little floater, left hand, no good. And good try by Cristofaro. Jordan passes down to Burston and back down to Kelsey, whose shot no good. Moore comes up with a rebound and flings it up to Cristofaro.
Nice pass.
Cristofaro draws the foul, and she'll get to the line.
It was just a nice job by Moore getting back there, and you could tell she was just really didn't want to contest the shot because she knew no matter what she did, she felt like she was probably going to draw a foul. So she did a good job of not drawing the foul, and then getting the rebound, and just a nice pass up to Cristofaro, who has a chance to knock a couple down from the line.
First is up and good. The Bodie and Gary both back into the game. for UMass. Into Christopher sets. Her second is up and good. And back to an 8-point game. 51-43 the score. And Gary. We got a whistle called. We believe it has to do with the scoreboard.
Seems like a lot of people have been off their game, and that includes the scoreboard operators today.
Absolutely. And what happened was they did not start the clock.
Oh, okay. So UMass will get the inbound then.
With 1 minute and 1 second to go in the third quarter. Edwards gets it to Burston.
This is where the Anchorwomen need to make a stop. They haven't made these stops when they've gotten it down to single digits all game. And if they can make a couple here, they can draw within a couple possessions and really put the pressure on the Beacons.
Pass down low. Great plays by both Burke and Moore. But UMass still comes up with it. Edwards for two.
It's not a lot you could do there. I mean, that was just a nice shot by Edwards.
Moore drives up. And she'll draw a foul. 34 seconds to go in the third quarter. 53-43. UMass hanging on to that 8 to 10 point lead.
He's fluctuating, and it just seems that the Anchorwomen just can't get it any lower than that. We got a whole other 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter in this game.
First shot is up and good. Moore now with 20 points on the game.
You had mentioned at halftime about Rebecca Gonzalez. She isn't dressed for this game, so I'm not sure if she's hurt or what her deal is. Hopefully,
second is up and no good. Rebound Gary.
Hopefully if she is injured, it's nothing serious.
Gary with the ball near center court, passes her right wing to Burston and back out to Gary. Gary being defended by Moore, passes it to Edwards.
Wow.
And there's a travel call. Almost thought there was going to be a foul on Burke.
That was my exact reaction as well. So they
shot clock's been turned off. 18 seconds to go. And Moore stops behind the three-point line. Now drives in left side. And she'll draw the foul. 10.5 seconds to go, third quarter.
Yeah, I think Moore's whole philosophy is now try to draw the foul through all the traffic down low on a drive.
Moore sets. First is up and is good. And she sets again. Second shot is up and good. To Cristofaro guarding Burston, who brings it up the court. 5 seconds to go in the quarter. Pass all the way down. Gary's shot is no good. And they're going to count the shot from Ebodi to end the quarter. And at the end of the third quarter, it's 53-46, Beacons leading the Anchorwomen. 55-46, I'm sorry, as they do count the shot at the buzzer.
Which I think was the right call. I do believe she got the shot off just before the buzzer.
Agreed. And we still got 10 more minutes to play.
I think the unfortunate thing for the Anchorwomen is I think they've been playing just about the same level as UMass in the past two quarters, which I'm not saying that either team is necessarily playing well, but I would say I don't think one's playing better than the other. It's been pretty even. But the unfortunate thing is they put themselves in such a massive deficit early on in this one, and that's what's making the difference. They've been able to keep the game within a couple points in the first quarter. I mean, we'd be talking about a game that'd be neck and neck right now. Instead, they put themselves in a 12-point deficit early on, and they've had to make it up, and they haven't been able to. So that's just been the unfortunate story for them in this one.
Very evenly matched third quarter. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe both teams had 20 points.
I believe you're right. I'm trying to remember what the score was at halftime, but if you're not right on, you're about right, roughly.
10 minutes still to go. Rhode Island College, unfortunately, in some foul trouble. Hill's got 4 fouls. Moore and Reel both with 3. Ribera's fouled out of the game. Burke also with 3 or 4 fouls.
I mean, the Beacons have a decent amount of foul trouble, but 3 fouls in the 4th quarter is kind of typical almost. It's not the end of the world. I mean, they've got a little bit of trouble, but I think they get another foul with some of those people, and they'll really be pressed. But I think
absolutely
they're just at a point where they don't have anybody. They don't have anybody who's fouled out or anything. Obviously, Jess and Rubera, you have a short bench now for the Anchorwomen. So that means DeCristofaro and Burke are going to have extended playing time in this one. DeCristofaro, I think, has handled herself pretty well.
Absolutely. Gary for 3. No good. Rebound comes down
Somehow
to Matthew, and ball back out to Burson. Gary driving in. Right side, passes it down to Edwards. Out to Burson and back to Gary. Fakes the 3, now drives in baseline, passes it down to Edwards. Throws a shot up, no good. Rebound, Hill. They're gonna call a travel. Devin Hill is down.
It's also a player down for UMass.
Bodie and Hill. Hill is up.
And I thought that Bodie was on her foot. That's why I didn't understand why there was a travel. Because really, there's not much you can do in that situation. But obviously, she's hurt as well. There's so many bodies under the rim there for that rebound. I just saw Hill came up with it. I don't know what happened. I don't know if obviously somebody landed somewhere and caught something.
Hill on a small limp, but looks like she will be all right.
Yeah, it looks like she's in a little discomfort. She's got the trainer looking at her.
She was able to get up, so I think it's going to be all right.
I think so too.
Bodie down for UMass, however. Molly Phillips, of course, will come into the game for Devin Hill.
She's really not putting a lot of pressure on that foot. It looks like she's going to need some help to get off the court. It's definitely not a good situation. Obviously, we wish the best for her.
She is, however, putting pressure on it.
A little bit.
And it is going to be Rick Ball, so they overruled that.
We're glad to see the officials overruled that, because obviously there was a lot going on down there. The injuries and whatnot.
Moore with the ball in their center court, being guarded by Burson. Passes it to DeCristofaro.
Hill already looks like he's going to come back in the game next stoppage of play.
DeCristofaro driving in, floater is good.
Nice. She's had a solid game. She has 5 points on the board, but I think overall, defensively and for the situation she's in as a young player, I think she's done a good job handling herself with the extended time.
Matthew passes to Burson, back to Matthew along the left side. And she looks around, turns around, gives it to Gary, who fakes the 3. And Gary, nice pass to Edwards. Jumper is long. There's going to be a foul called on the play.
And Rick's done a good job of forcing those bad shots, those floaters that don't even hit the rim. But the unfortunate part is that they haven't gotten a lot of rebounds. They did a good job there, drew the foul, and they're going to get possession. But if they can get some more of those rebounds, I mean, and limit those second chance opportunities, then they can really make a bigger comeback attempt here. They're only down by 7. This is the lowest deficit we've seen in a little while now. Let's see if they can get it even lower.
Moore finds Hill. Hill turns around. And there's going to be a foul before the shot.
which is unfortunate because she was able to get it to fall.
Foul called on UMass Boston, number 22, Edwards, her fourth foul.
Fouls on Edwards, who has 4 fouls.
So the Beacons are running into some trouble.
Burke's jumper is good.
It's a 3-pointer.
I think she was a little in from the 3-point line.
They just counted to the wrong team on the scoreboard.
And they do count it for 3.
I saw the official make the signal. As you said, maybe not quit the 3-pointer, but you're not going to complain about that if you're Rhode Island College.
And an offensive foul is called.
And that's a gutsy play by Hill, because if you don't get that call, you foul out. So you got to give her a lot of credit for having the guts to set yourself there and hope you get the call to go your way.
55-51, and it is a game.
We have a game. Now the Anchorwomen got some momentum. I think this is the most momentum they've had in this entire game.
Absolutely.
They need to capitalize. I think they need to seize this lead right now. I'm not saying they have to get out to this huge deficit, but I think if they at least get the lead, they haven't had the lead since the opening minutes of this game. So, I mean, if they can get to that point where they're finally back in front, I mean, really, it's going to put all the pressure back on UMass, and that's going to really help electrify them also.
A shot puts him in 2, and of course a 3 would put him in within 1.
And they're finally getting the shots to fall. And they really just haven't been able to get consistent offense for most of the game, and they finally found it. I mean, we had that nice floater from the Cristofaro, and then on the last possession, Burke made the 3-pointer that's given them this 4-point deficit. But I think the best thing that you can say about that is that they're taking some of the pressure off Alex Moore, who can carry the team, but I think it's good if they can get some production from other people.
And Moore throws it away.
And she had Burke open in the corner too. She had a chance to possibly put up a 3 with all the time she had. And unfortunately, that one goes out of bounds off the water cooler on the RIC bench.
Matthew to inbound, gets it to Burston. Burston looking around. Now brings it up past half court. And Burke doing a solid job defensively. And there's going to be an offensive foul called. Foul's going to be called on Murphy.
And her number isn't up on the board, but I believe she had 3 fouls. So that will be her 4th, so she's in some trouble.
No, she gets fouled out of the game.
All right.
And Edwards to come back in, who also has 4 fouls.
And so the Beacons are running into their own foul trouble. And then Murphy, I think, has been a big presence down low. She's got some height and whatnot, so I definitely, with the body on the bench, also injured. I mean, there's some space open down low, a little bit of a lack of the presence that the Beacons have had, and the Anchorwomen can take advantage of that if they
Moore
so
fakes the
please.
3, now pulls up, airmails the shot. Matthew with the rebound.
Not necessarily a bad look, just a bad shot.
Burston looking right, finds Kelsey. And she gets it off the board for 2.
Kind of whipped that thing up there. Just kind of whipped it.
Moore bringing it up the court. Looking for somebody, finds Burke. And Burke looking around. Now she finds Hill. Hill looking for more, finds her down low for 2.
That was a great pass.
And a great play drawn up also.
Yeah, definitely. Because really, you think that the opposite would happen. You think it would be more dishing down the hill.
Gary for 3. No good. I'm sorry, that was Matthew. Shot the 3 ball.
Anchorwomen are already in the bonus. 6:38 to play in the 4th. So I think the tables have turned a little bit here. I think the Beacons are finding themselves in a lot of foul trouble, and the Anchorwomen have their foul problems. Obviously with Burke and Hill both with 4. But I think it's starting to affect the Beacons a little bit more. I think Burke and Hill have both been.
Moore makes her first.
And they've both been doing a good job of playing smart basketball and haven't been going for unnecessary plays that would foul them out.
And Moore sets. Shot is up, and it is good. And it's a 2-point game, 57-55 the score. Alex Moore with 26 points so far. Burson with the ball. Finds Matthew. And Matthew gets it to Jordan. Jordan down to Burson. Burson back out around the corner and back up to the top of the key to Matthew, who hands it back to Burson.
They have to shoot it.
5 on the shot clock. Matthew drives in. Shot is good off the board.
That is a good job by her creating some space and getting the drive in. Anchorwoman, good defense for most of that possession, but at the very end just faltered a little bit and gave up the easy drive.
Burke with the ball. Right wing, looking around, finding Hill. Hill turns around, shot no good. And Matthew able to come up with it.
And they got a timeout. Which is a smart play for the UMass bench because somebody pinned in the corner like that.
59-55, 4-point game.
And we've really got, this game's really turning into quite the thrower down the stretch here.
That it has.
The Anchorwomen have done a nice job in this quarter of working their way through that deficit that they've been in for most of this game. They just haven't quite gotten over the hump and gotten the lead back, but they've got some time here. Still got a little over half of this fourth quarter to play.
See what they do down the stretch. Still quite a bit of time.
There is, and obviously you've got all that time and you've got people with some foul problems on both sides. So I think both teams need to play smart basketball, and obviously Rhode Island College in the bonus now. That's going to play a factor. And really, if you're the Beacons, you can't go with that strategy of fouling them and putting them at the line, which actually something that I don't think we've touched on very much. The Anchorwomen have shot the ball from the foul line far, far better in the second half.
Absolutely.
They've converted those chances. Obviously, Alex Moore, basically money from that foul line. She's gotten a lot of opportunities, but even the rest of the team's done a good job of converting their chances.
That they are. Phillips knocking down a couple from the line.
Yeah, definitely. And you're always going to get that production there, and especially down the stretch, it's key.
Absolutely. Still more than half of this fourth quarter to go. 5:45 remaining in regulation. And we're just waiting on a call from the officials.
Now, I know how it feels like it's an NFL game now. Been a lot of conferences in this game, a lot of stoppages of play for officiating and scoreboard errors.
That there has been.
Just the way she goes sometimes.
A lot of uncommon things happening in this game.
Yeah, the lane violations. Just a lot of the carrying, a lot of weird calls. Just a very weird game. I think definitely, the first quarter set the tone for that. The Anchorwomen only getting 8 points in the first quarter. And really, it's gotten back to your regular expected basketball game for the vast majority of these 3 quarters.
Burson with the ball. Brings it up the court. Being guarded by Burke. And she fakes Burke out. Ball being moved around. Matthew. All the way to the other side to Jordan. Jordan driving in baseline now, brings it back out beyond the 3-point line, gets it to Burson, who drives in left side and passes it up to Kelsey, who fakes the 3. He's going to get called for a travel.
You know what I want to know is how many travels have both teams had in this game?
It's been quite a few of them.
Easily double digits for each side, I would think.
Burke with the ball. Finds Moore. Now Moore steps in. Now drives in. Brings it back out to Phillips. Phillips hands it back to Moore for 3. No good that time. Rebound. Edwards, who gets it to Burson.
And Phillips did a nice job of setting the pick, giving her a little bit of space, but you're going to miss at least at some point from 3-point range. And unfortunately, that's just what happened with Moore there.
Pass down low. Edwards for 2. And it would be huge if they can get that last foul on Edwards. And she's been a key part of the game. 14 points. She does have 4 fouls, though.
Yeah, definitely. She's played a smart game, not giving up those, not fouling out of the game.
Hill fakes the 3, now gives it to Moore. Moore drives in left side, and she's going to get a foul and get to the line. And Moore will go to the line.
Foul call on UMass Boston, number 34, Raven Kelsey, her 4th foul.
And Kelsey also with 4 fouls.
Line for RIC, number 10, now it's 4 shooting 2.
Kelsey and Edwards both with 4. Those would be 2 huge fouls to get.
And I'd almost.
Moore's shot is up and is good.
And you're going to think that's part of the mindset Alex Moore has when she drives in and doesn't. And even when she does have some room, she's expecting to get a foul from somebody. And especially with some of these key players in Kelsey and Edwards and foul problems for the Beacons, it's not necessarily a bad strategy, particularly at this time of the game.
And she misses her second. And Hill unable to come up with the rebound, and Edwards does. Now Gary with the ball.
And nice effort there, but not able to get it.
Gary loses it out of bounds, but they say it went off of Burke.
And I disagree with that one. I think she just lost the ball out of bounds. I think she almost loses it again.
Gary right side. Moving it back to Jordan. Back to Gary beyond the 3-point line. Passes it all the way to the corner to Matthew. Finds Edwards and back up to Jordan. 5 seconds on the shot clock. And they're going to have a foul. Foul on. Fouls on Phillips. Gary with the ball. Brings it up and around, back up to the top of the key. Gets it to Edwards on the right side to Jordan, and back down to Gary for 2. 63-56 the score. Back to a 7-point lead. Burke to Phillips, fakes the 3. Now finds Burke to Reel. Reel looking around, back to Burke. And Burke finds Phillips for 3. No good, in and out. And Gary comes up with the rebound. Edwards to Matthew, back to Edwards. Closing in on 3 minutes to go in regulation. 63-56. And the shot is good from Abodi. And it's back up to a 9-point lead. Moore finds Phillips. Looks left side to Reel. Reel looking around, now driving in and brings it back out to Hill. Hill turns around. Shot is good off the board.
She did a nice job there. She's had a lot of trouble getting those opportunities all game, but now in the time where it matters, she's finding her touch. So definitely another positive for the Anchorwoman.
Matthew over to the corner to Jordan. Jordan is going to draw a foul. Foul's going to be on Phillips.
She's up to 4. I think the worst thing that could happen for both teams in this one is if this one goes to overtime.
Agreed. Shot is up and good. DeCristofaro back into the game. And Kelsey back into the game. Jordan sets. Her second is up and is good. Moore bringing it up. 67-58 the score.
Now's the time you're going to make that run.
Reel for 3. Got it.
She finds her way into double digits. She's got 3 3-pointers on the day. She's found her touch outside in this one.
67-61, 2:04 to go in regulation.
This is the time the Anchorwomen are going to make that run. 2 minutes left in the game. That was a big 3 points to try to turn the tide a little bit because the Beacons have stretch their lead back out from 2 points back out to 9. They did a good job of getting the open opportunity, and Rio's had those open opportunities in the corners a lot of the game. I think they could have probably kicked it out to her a little bit more, because she's had as I said, 3 3-pointers from outside, and she's done a good job of finding her touch there and taking a little bit of pressure off Alex Moore.
Absolutely.
Because you can't ask Alex Moore to take every single 3-pointer. As good as she is, getting somebody else involved in that specific aspect of the game is definitely key for this team.
Moore with 27 points, Real with 10, Hill with 7, Phillips with 6, and DeCristofaro with 5 on the court for the Anchorwomen right now. And after that horrible first half, it's an extremely good second half here at the Murray Center.
And it did a good job making adjustments in the second half and getting themselves back in this game. I think you can definitely take a lot of positive out of the second half, but I mean, if you really want to take a positive, you got to get the win. And I think especially in a conference game where, as we always say, these games are the biggest ones of the season when it comes down to it.
Jordan with the ball, bringing it up the court, gets it up to Gary, who passes it down to a Bodie who couldn't handle it. Kelsey fakes the 3, now drives in, may have gotten away with a little walk before, and it's going to be Anchorwomen ball.
I don't know if that ball's greased up or something, but it seems like both teams have had trouble handling it today.
Agreed.
On passes, just I don't know what it is.
Moore gives it to DeCristofaro on the right side, and she drives in, loses the ball, and Matthew comes up with it, like you were saying.
I think you're going to credit that defense to an extent, but I think also you're going to say it's some sloppy offense, too, from both sides.
Gary with the ball, passes left side to Matthew and down to the corner where Jordan is back up to Matthew. And back to Gary. Gary passes it down low, and it's picked off, deflected from Hill, and Moore comes away with it, passes it up to DeCristofaro. She gives it to the corner to Real for 3. No good off the board. And they're going to get a foul on DeCristofaro.
Just unfortunate because Real had a pretty good opportunity from the corner
That
again.
she did.
And
They've thought about it a little too long again.
Yeah, because it was allowed the defender to roll over and give her some contention on the shot, and unfortunately just hit the side of the backboard.
Ball being moved around. Kelsey to Jordan, right side. And back out to Matthew. And back to Gary. Gary driving in left side. Out to Jordan and back to Matthew. Matthew passes it down and back out. Kelsey for 3. No good. And ball. That's going to be a travel. And it is going to be a travel. Phillips will inbound. 67-61, 38 and a half seconds to go.
You got to get a basket here, whether it's a 2 or a 3. I would think you probably want to go for the 3 with 30 seconds left.
DeCristofaro driving baseline. And there's going to be a foul.
She gets fouled at least.
Foul call, UMass Boston.
So you got to expect we'll be seeing the press from the Anchorwoman on the inbounds, or if DeCristofaro misses on the rebound. See a lot of pressure here.
Foul call, UMass Boston, number 21.
Rick still has, I believe, 2 fouls to give until UMass goes to the line. It's just a question of, at this point, probably
DeCristofaro makes her first.
Probably just a question of who you let foul and who you don't.
Right. Second is up. And is good. Kelsey loses the ball. Hill comes up with it and throws it away. And UMass comes up with it. There's going to be a foul called on DeCristofaro. And UMass will inbound right in front of our table.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate sequence for the Anchorwoman. They had a great opportunity to get the basket knocked down to one possession there, and Hill just lost her footing, it looked like, I guess. And just turned the ball over, unfortunately.
20.8 seconds to go in regulation, 67-63 the score. Foul on Moore. Gary will go to the line.
Probably didn't want Moore to have to give that foul, but at that point, you just got to do what you got to do to put them in the line.
First is up and is good.
Probably the person you want to be giving the fouls is the Cristofaro. She has three to
Second
give.
is up and good also. So 18.6 seconds left, 69-63. UMass maintaining that 6-point lead. And like you had said, every time that lead gets smaller, it just goes right back up again.
Well, I think really realistically, they had their chance in that inbounds, and they had the turnover, and Hill unfortunately gave the ball up, and they had to start fouling. They had a chance there to knock it down to 2 points, and then we're talking about a whole different scenario.
Right. And had Rhode Island College made all their foul shots,
Oh, definitely.
could have the lead right now.
Well, there's a lot of things that you can draw back to this game.
Right.
Obviously, the offense in the first half, specifically the first quarter. And you can go back to the foul shots. I think overall it's been a tale of two teams in this game. Really, the first half Anchorwomen that just really underperformed. And then the second half one, I had to play catch up. And really, I mean, if they could play a complete game the way they were playing in the second half, I mean, you could get a win in a game like this. But unfortunately, just hasn't been the way this one's played out.
To Cristofaro with the ball. Finds Moore for three. No good, way off right. 13 seconds to go, UMass ball.
Just one of those shots that she had to take, and obviously with time of the essence, she had to kind of rush it and not even able to hit the rim there, unfortunately. You can't really say a lot negative about Alex Moore in this one, though. She got 27 points in this game, and
Game high 27 points, of course.
yeah, and she's really the thing that kept this team in the
Absolutely.
game, especially in the points where the offense is very lackluster in this one.
69-63 the score with 13 seconds to go. I mean, we have seen stranger things happen.
It's true. We have a lot of things, bizarre things that happen in sports, but they're going to need some sort of miracle here to be able to try to
Absolutely.
pull this one out.
But you just never know. More than likely, they'll foul right off the play.
You would think so, unless they can get a turnover somehow. I think essentially the sequence you would need is you foul here, they miss their foul shots, get a quick three, and then get a turnover. It's the only way I can see it playing out.
13 seconds to go. It'll be Dumont, Real, De Cristofaro, Palladino, and Morgan Burke on the floor. Gary is fouled by Real. Now Moore, Phillips, and Hill will come back into the game. Gary sets, her first is up and good. 7-point game, 10.8 to go. Next one should be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, definitely.
And she makes it. And Moore brings it up, passes it down. And they'll still get a foul. Hill is now fouled out.
You can definitely give her credit. She had 4 fouls pretty early on in this one, and with 1 second left, she finally fouls out. So I think she did a good job of playing a relatively clean game down the stretch. Unfortunately, just not the Anchorwomen's day, and I just think if you come out and perform the way they did in the first quarter and put yourself in that kind of deficit. It's going to be really hard for you, regardless of what team you have. It's going to be hard for you to come back and try to win the game.
So the Anchor women will drop to 1-2 in conference play. UMass will move up to 1-2. Shot is up and no good. And Real will dribble it out. And your final score, UMass Boston Beacons 71, Rhode Island College Anchorwomen 63. And Andrew, what can you take away from this game? First of all, talk about the first half first.
Well, the first half, I mean, just a little bit of everything on offense. Just the shooting, shot selection, passing, free throws. I think there's just, you improve on everything, and I think they really did improve on everything in the second half for the most part. It was unfortunately just one of those games where you put yourself in that kind of hole early, and it's just so hard to come back from.
And Andrew, send it down to you as we got Alex Moore standing by.
We got Alex Moore from Rhode Island College Anchorwomen. Alex, great second half performance from you, able to get the team back in the game a little bit. But,
Thank you.
But talk about the first quarter a little bit. They really seemed to catch you off guard a little bit. Was it something that they were doing to you, or was it just execution on your end that put yourself in that deficit?
We just couldn't score in the first half. I mean, we threw up a bunch of shots and they just weren't falling for us, and that we really needed to hit our shots in the first quarter.
Yeah, definitely. It's always hard to come back from a game when you put yourself in a hole early. But talking about the second half a little bit, what did Coach say to you in the second half to make adjustments or whatever that got you guys back in this game?
Oh, we needed to box out there well over our size, so we just really needed to focus on boxing out and getting those defensive boards and not giving them second chance opportunities. And that worked for us for a long time. Yeah,
it helped you get back in the game, most definitely. And you got your next game, I believe, is Wednesday against Southern Maine, another conference game.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that you guys need to do, biggest adjustment you need to make to come out and perform a little better in that game?
Well, Southern Maine's another big team, and we're undersized, so we have to really focus on rebounding, boxing out, and getting those loose balls.
Definitely. Well, Alex, good game from you. Unfortunately, you guys came up a little short, and we'll see you Wednesday, and good luck then.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alex. And Andrew, now talk about the second half before we got Coach Senecal over here.
Well, the second half, I think they did just a lot better. I mean, Alex is saying they boxed out a little better, and I think even beyond that, I think just offensively, I think they got the rhythm going. Obviously, Alex ended up with 27 points. I mean, you can't understate enough about how good of an effort that was.
Right.
Keeping them in the game and helping them get back to the game. But I also think they did some things a little better. I mean, I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, obviously, but from the line, I mean, it was night and day what you saw.
Right.
From the first half to the second. Obviously, if you're going to
very inconsistent.
Yeah, and there was a lot more consistency in the second half, and they were making those shots, and they needed to make those shots. So I think if they had gone out and done that from the beginning, I mean, we'd be talking about a whole different game. We'd be talking about a victory here. So I think overall, I think the takeaway that you need to take, you got to play a full 40 minutes of basketball.
Absolutely.
You can't come out and start slow and whatnot. So I think that's what you got to take out of it, and I'm sure Coach will say something similar when we talk to him.
And of course, we'll be here Wednesday night, where Southern Maine will be here. Anchormen and Anchorwomen hosting them. First game will be at 5:30. Second one will be at 7:30. Should be a fun night.
Yeah.
Southern Maine's always a great game.
Yeah, definitely. Another doubleheader. Always like doing the doubleheaders, and see what we get from the Anchormen in this game. I'm sure we'll have another good contest on our hands.
Absolutely. If you're listening, stick around where your Rhode Island College Anchormen will take on the UMass Boston Beacons. And what is another conference matchup, and it should be another good one.
Yeah, definitely. Good. About 17 minutes into that game, we'll start underway, so definitely got some time between now and then. But
both teams warming up, getting ready. And we'll momentarily have Coach Senecal coming by. And
Here he
Andrew,
comes.
send it down to you. We got Coach Senecal standing by.
All right, we got Coach Glenn Senecal, Rhode Island College Anchorwoman, and Coach, definitely a tale of two teams in this one. The team in the first half definitely underperformed, and then the team in the second half looked really good. What would you say was the biggest difference between those two efforts in the first and second half?
Well, I think we picked up the intensity a little bit defensively. You know, we pushed it up the floor some, but we got to do a better job of understanding what we're trying to do. You know, I mean, I can't go out there and play for them, and you know, we just got to get better at the little things, and we still turn the ball over. I mean, we turned the ball over 14 times in the first half alone against, you know, there wasn't that much pressure, you know, and we missed 11 free throws in the first half, you know.
It definitely. We were saying that throughout the game that definitely you guys a lot better from the line in the second half. What do you think the biggest adjustment was? I know Alex talked about boxing out was a thing you emphasized on in the second half. Would you say there was another big thing that you emphasized to them at halftime to try to change the tide of the game a little bit?
Well, it was just, I thought, you know, was to execute offensively, you know, take good shots, get good shots. And we just got to defend on the perimeter. We didn't, you know, we let their secondary people beat us, you know, because we didn't get the shooters. You know, we just didn't do a good job of closing out, you know, and that's my fault, you know. But they also got to understand and follow the scout report. You know, we did a great job on Murphy. She was averaging 20 and 15. You know, I don't know what she ended up with, but we did a great job on her. You know, but we just got to get better. I got to have some players step up. You know, Devin struggled a little bit today, but you know what? She battled. She did a great job on Murphy. You know, so it took away from her offense. Someone else had to step up. Alex Moore did, but we had to have other people step up too, and we didn't have it. And we got in foul trouble. You know, I don't think the whistle was fair today.
Yeah, definitely. And Coach, another conference game Wednesday is Southern Maine. Obviously, team you see frequently. What do you think is a key against them specifically that you have to do to try to beat them?
Well, I think you know, again, it's all about us. It's all about us. It's not about anybody else. You know, and if we take care of business, we practice, you know, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
All right. Well, Coach, tough game today,
Yes,
but
it
definitely some positives that you can't take out of it in the second half.
Yeah.
But we'll see you Wednesday. Hopefully, it'll be a different outcome then.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. And that was Coach Glenn Senecal of the Rhode Island College Anchorwomen. But stick around. We've got the second half of our doubleheader against the Anchor Men as they take on the UMass Boston Beacons here at the Murray Center on WXIN, Rhode Island College Radio, and Anchor TV.